Hey everybody, David Walker here at Street Toyota 45th and Soncy in Amarillo, Texas. It is Test Drive Tuesday again, and we are here with the Prius Prime. It's not Optimus Prime, it's not USDA Prime, it is the Prius Prime from Toyota model year 2018. Now, what's so prime about it? Let's talk about that. There has been a plug-in hybrid version of the Prius around for several years, but it was only available in certain markets. Ours was not one of them. Now, the Prius Prime is a plug-in version of the Prius that is available in all 50 states. Now, they're still really hard to get. This one isn't actually a new one. We had to go track down a used one. It's got just under 4,000 miles on it, so it is practically new. But here's what's so cool about the Prius Prime. Now, every Prius gets you right around 50 miles per gallon, so you rarely have to gas up. You can just laugh at your friends when you're driving by the gas station. But the Prius Prime takes it a step further with larger battery packs and larger electric motors. You actually plug this in, and let's come around this way, and you can see the fuel doors on the left. There is still a gasoline engine, but on the right-hand side of the car is your charging port where you plug this in. Now, plugging the Prius Prime in and charging it up, on a full charge, you'll get about 25 miles of electric-only range at a top electric-only speed of about 84 miles an hour. What that means is that you can do pretty much everything you need to do. You can do your daily running around, easily get up to highway speeds without burning a drop of gas. And then when you get home, just go ahead and plug it in overnight, do it all again the next day. It'll take you a long time to get through a tank of gas that way. Really cool thing about that is you save a ton of money on gas. Also, you're not burning things, putting pollutants in the air, if that kind of thing is important to you. We are in Texas, but I know some of us are thinking about that. Anyhow, it's just really cool stuff. So 25 miles electric only, get all your daily running around done, and then just plug it in when you get home. One of the questions that we get about the Prius Prime, because people just aren't familiar with plug-in hybrids, does it still have a gasoline engine? Yes. So here's the really cool thing. Once you get past that 25 miles, it just operates like a regular Prius and gets a little over 50 miles per gallon. Of course, that depends on how you drive and everything. Has the regular 1.8 liter four-cylinder that you get in the regular Prius, and your total range, including a full charge plus a full tank of gas, is about 640 miles. So you can go a long, long way in the Prius Prime before you have to plug in or gas up. Pretty cool stuff. Another question that we get asked a lot, how long does it take to charge? If you're running it on a normal household outlet, it's going to take you about 5.5 hours to go from absolutely nothing to a full charge. If you're on one of those public charging stations that you find at hotels and things like that, the 240 volt charging stations, it's going to take just a little over 2 hours. So you can easily get it charged up overnight, which brings up another question with a lot of people. Well, if I get home at 8:30 at night and I'm not leaving until 8 the next morning and I just plug it in, is it going to be drawing electricity all night? No. Interestingly enough, you can set a charging schedule with your Prius Prime. So all you have to do is tell the car what time you want to leave in the morning, plug it in, and it'll start charging and only draw electricity as long as it needs to, so that it's fully charged and ready to go at the time that you told it you want to take off. Back here you will see, if you compare this to a Prius, a regular Prius, the extra battery packs take up a little more space in your cargo area back here. Another difference that you'll notice is that the hatch is made of carbon fiber to save weight, so you can see that texture when you get up close. Another change that was made, and this doesn't hurt my feelings at all, I actually think it's kind of cool. You have a 2-seat back seat. Your regular Prius is going to have 3 seats across the back, but really, who's going to sit there anyway? So instead of doing that, you have 2 very comfortable seats, a nice padded armrest, console in the middle. You can flip that open and store some stuff, and of course, cup holders. Moving up to the front, the Prius Prime, there we go. the Prius Prime comes in 3 different trims. Interestingly enough, the bottom trim is called Plus, middle trim is Premium, and then the top trim is Advanced. Now we are dealing with the Prius Prime Advanced here. The Prius Prime Advanced is going to give you a lot of cool features that we'll talk about as we're driving. You may have already noticed that monstrous touchscreen in the middle. The Premium and Advanced both get the 11.6-inch touchscreen. So we'll talk a little bit more about that while we're driving, and let's do that right now. Okay, here we are driving the 2018 Prius Prime Advanced, and man, there's a ton of stuff to talk about here. We're going to try to keep it pretty light, keep this to a watchable length. I always say that and then I don't, but we'll try again. And if you want to see more, just come and see us. So here we go, Prius Prime Advanced. You have not only heated seats, but a heated steering wheel. Not a big draw on a day like today, but in about 6 months it will be. Go ahead, Chris, and get a shot of that giant touchscreen. So you have your map happening right there on that 11.6-inch touchscreen. You also have a couple other little menu items here. You have your Intune app suite where you have things like Pandora, Open Table, movie times, things like that. You also have your drive info, traffic and weather, and of course, if you're not driving, you can set a destination using that other little menu button there. Or you can just pop all that stuff out of the way and just have your map. Your climate controls are also going to happen down here on the big touch screen. So trust me, there's a lot going on right over there and a lot of screen space for it to go on. Then of course you have your multi-information display above that with your energy monitor, fuel economy information, and things like that. Another really cool feature that you get with the Prius Prime Advanced, and I don't think you're going to be able to see it, so you'll have to take my word or come and see it for yourself, even better, is the head-up display right over here in front of me. Head-up displays, of course, have been used in fighter jets for a long time. They came around in the 90s and never really caught on, but they're starting to come back. So directly in front of me, projected onto the glass, I have my speedometer, my eco drive indicator, and then if there's other information that I need, for instance, the speed limit of the road that I'm on, turns, if I have destination set with the navigation, it all pops up right there in front of me. Of course, in the Prius Prime, we have Toyota's Safety Sense P, which means that you have automatic high beam, lane departure alert, pre-collision system with pedestrian detection, and dynamic radar cruise control. So cutting edge safety features, all of them come standard on the Prius Prime. And of course, driving it, if you're a Prius owner, if you've been in a Prius before, it's going to feel very familiar. And I think that's the great thing about the Prius Prime. It's not just outlandishly strange. It doesn't feel weird and unfamiliar. If you've driven a Prius, it's going to feel very similar. But again, you get that on a full charge, 25-mile electric-only driving range, which you can use at normal speeds. That guy just went right off in the grass. You can use at normal speeds, normal highway speeds. Your top electric-only speed, as I mentioned before, is 84 miles an hour. And it makes the vehicle just completely usable. For most people, you don't really do 25 miles of running around town a day. So you can get that done, again, without burning a drop of gas, which is incredibly cool. Now, I would recommend, even if you do, 10 miles a day and just plug it in overnight, go ahead and run it as a hybrid, which you can select with these little buttons down here, by the way. At least a couple of days a week. Your gas engine, just like any other mechanical device, just sitting unused is not good for it. So we do recommend, running it every now and then, even if you don't need to. But you know what? it's still going to take you a while to get through a tank of gas. You might want to get some fuel stabilizer. Other interesting things going on here. As I mentioned before, you have the 4-seat configuration, so everybody has a nice padded armrest, cup holders. You also have Qi wireless charging right down here in front of the cup holders. Now, if you're not familiar with Qi wireless charging, your current phone may not have it. Your next phone probably will. The ones that are natively compatible with Qi wireless charging are going to be your last couple of generations of Samsung Galaxy devices. The iPhone is not yet natively compatible, but you can get little adapters to make it compatible. And when your phone is wireless charging compatible, all you do is turn on the wireless charging pad and just put your phone on it. You don't have to plug anything in, and it charges your phone. Pretty cool stuff. I should have turned. We're getting into some construction here, which may not be a lot of fun, but who cares? It's Test Drive Tuesday. We're just going to see where we end up. So you do have Qi wireless charging in your Prius Prime. You may have also noticed the buttons down here that I mentioned before for your drive mode and your HV and EV mode. HV stands for hybrid vehicle. EV stands for electric vehicle. So even if your electric range is not depleted, you can switch it to hybrid mode and use your gas and electric power sources together to save your electric only range for later if you want to. You can also just set it to auto so that the vehicle decides when to switch to EV. And then your drive mode, this is kind of interesting too. You have 3 drive modes, and this is true in the regular Prius as well. There's normal, which just gives you a good balance of power and economy. There is eco, which prioritizes economy over power, cuts back your throttle response a little bit, also decreases the function of the air conditioning to save a little bit of power. We're not going to be doing that today, and hopefully increase your fuel economy a little bit. And then there's power mode, which just gives you full-on throttle response and instant power, maybe at the expense of a little bit of fuel economy, but it makes the car a little more fun to drive. So those are your 3 drive modes, selectable via that little button right there. Aside from that, I would just highly recommend coming and driving this car. For people wanting to test drive it, we're going to try to remember to get it plugged in every night before we go home, so that when you come in and test drive it, you can get a taste of that electric only driving in the Prius Prime. Hopefully when you come and test drive, we will be able to demonstrate that for you. But man, it is just a cool car. So come on down and see us, 45th and Soncy, Street Toyota, Amarillo, Texas. Test Drive Tuesday once again in the 2018 Prius Prime. We will see you soon. Take care. Power mode!